Good evening, students. Welcome back to our channel, Ach'z Sagacity. In this section, we are going to discuss about this OET preparation. I saw some comments to guide you on what to expect or how to prepare for 8th February 2025 OET examination. Usually, in the global level, they are conducting two test dates for OET. So 8th February, I think many of them are going to give their test. So here in this section, I'm going to discuss about what to expect or how you need to utilize these 3 weeks of time for your OET examination. So let's start with our section. First of all, OET exams are standardized and designated to assess the language skills in a healthcare contest. So it is impossible to predict the exact content of the test because OET frequently updates and varies its materials. It's not like IELTS or any other proficiency exam. So there and all the updations are very rare, we can say. So however, I can guide you on what to expect or how to prepare effectively. So let's see what to expect in each and every module. First of all, about the listening section. So you can expect some healthcare related audio recordings such as the consultation or the presentations or patient histories. So you need to focus on identifying the main ideas or specific details and even opinions. Then coming towards the reading section, typically you know that three parts. Part A, so you need to do skimming and scanning this short healthcare related test for this specific information. Part B, you need to understand the workplace related test like policies or even guidelines. And in the part C, the comprehension of two longer healthcare related passages. Then, what about the writing? So, writing a letter that may be referral or discharge or transfer based on the case note. So, you need to pay attention to the structure or the tone or even the relevance of the information. And coming towards the speaking section, the role play scenarios where you interact with a patient or even caregiver. So you need to focus on demonstrating empathy, even clarity, and even professional communication. Prior to moving towards this 3 weeks detailed resources or the preparation guide, I just want to give 6 important tips for your preparation purpose now itself. So the tip number 1, so practice materials. You need to use official OET practice test or the resources from these trusted providers rather than just randomly selecting these materials. And tip number 2, the vocabulary. Build a strong healthcare vocabulary. So I thought of releasing as soon as possible some common vocabulary, what you can expect frequently in the examination. So I will come out with that as soon as possible. So stay tuned for that. And coming towards the third tip, the listening skills. Practice active listening with some healthcare podcast or even recordings. And tip number 4, writing practice. Focus on organizing case notes logically and even clearly. Tip number 5, the mock test. Stimulate the exam condition to build your confidence level. And the last tip about the time management. So work on answering some effectively within the time limit. So if you are looking for some specific resources or some additional guidance means, I just want to provide that also in this section. Now we are going to discuss the 3-week study plan for the OET exam on 8th February 2025. So it is tailored to cover all sections effectively in a shorter period of time. And it assumes a daily commitment of 3 to 4 hours. So if you are ready to give 3 to 4 hours, then check out with this preparation plan. So week 1, we can call it as the foundation and the skill development. I'm not considering this particular week because today it's Friday, so almost to the end of the week. So next week onwards, you can just implement this plan. So the first week, that is for the foundation and skills development. So what you need to set your goal as, understand the exam format and even build the basic skills in all the subtests. Ready? So day 1 and day 2, you need to familiarize or it's the initial practice time. So what you need to do in this sense, learn the OET test format and the scoring criteria for this listening, reading, writing and speaking. So, what some strategy videos? Like there are so many resources who are releasing these strategic videos and would like this E2 language or E2 introduction, and also you can just move on to that. And coming towards this task, attempt one sample test for each subtest to identify your strengths and even weakness. So you can just utilize the resources as I mentioned, the official guide to OET or this OET official free sample test and all. You can just Google it out. Then coming towards the day 3, 4 and 5, 3 days, listening and reading you need to concentrate, especially the part A and part B. In listening section, practice part A, not taking during these consultations and all. And in part B, the workplace related recordings. And coming towards the reading, practice part A, skimming and scanning method. And in part B, the workplace related test again. So the task is to attempt at least 2 listening tests and even 2 reading tests in a day. So resources you can utilize like podcast like the BBC Health Check or this NPR Health, like that resources you can utilize for. Now about the day 6 and 7, you need to give importance towards the writing module, the introduction and the basics. So what you need to do under your activity means learn the structure of this referral, transfer and even discharge letters. So study some sample letter to understand the tone and even the format of the letter. So you need to write at least 1 or 2 practice letters daily based on the simple case notes. While writing, you need to focus on this grammar, the clarity, and even the relevance. So you can use the resources like the OET writing guide for these nurses and doctors, or you can just check out with some free case notes published in this internet platform by different institutions. That's about the first week plan. So I hope you understood how to utilize your first week time. Now coming towards the second week, you need to give more time for this speaking and even time to practice. So what you need to set as your goal to improve the speaking fluency and to refine other subtest skills. So in the day 1 and day 2, you can completely give for this speaking basics and for this role plays. So your activity should be like review the role play strategies and practice using this empathy and professionalism. So you can practice role plays with a friend or you have a tutor. You are just getting training under any particular institute or online platform means you can just practice with your tutor, okay, or your friend who is already completed the OET exam or going to write the OET exam. That means you can just practice together now. So your task is to attempt at least 2 role plays daily. Okay, so you can utilize the resources like the role play cards from this OET website, or there are so many speaking partners, official channels, so you can just depend on them too. Now, coming towards the day 3 and 4, that you need to give for this listening and reading, especially the part C section, because we already discussed about part A and B. So, here in the second week, you need to give importance towards this part C section. So, under this listening, you need to focus on understanding this attitude or opinion or implications, because there are so many questions in correlation with this writer's opinion, writer's attitude based and all. So, you need to focus on that. And for the reading also practice this comprehending longer this healthcare contest or healthcare test and all. So here your task should be attempt at least 1 listening part C and also the reading part C on a daily basis. So again you can use this official OET materials, or you can just hear some podcast like this BMJ podcast and all. Now we will move towards this day 5 and 6. You can just give for this writing and speaking practices. So under this writing section, you need to focus on this writing concise and also well organized letters. So you need to practice at least 2 case notes daily. And for this speaking section also, you need to continue role play scenarios with this feedback from your friend or from the expert trainer. And for the resources, it's better to take some writing correction services from any online platforms, or any you have a personal trainer means it's the time for getting some writing corrections. And coming towards the day 7, the last day of the second week, you need to give for some mock test. Okay, so take a full mock test under a timed condition for listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and analyze your mistake or the focus on your weak areas. So it's always better to depend on some official or this third party mock test and all. So now coming towards the third week, the final practice and refinement. So your goal should be to build your confidence with a full length test and also review your weak areas. So what you need to do on this day 1 to 3 in the sense, just do some full length practice test. So take a full test daily for 3 days, listening, reading, writing, and even speaking. So focus on improving the weak areas based on this test feedback. So your task should be like spend extra time on these tricky sections, especially the part C section of listening or even the writing. Okay, and you need to depend on some official third party mock test resources and all. Now, in the fourth and fifth day, you need to do some, you need to target on your weakness. So, your activity should be like review the errors from this mock test. So, you can just review the errors from your mock test. So, you need to focus on challenging the task, like the writing letters or the speaking role plays. And your task should be like write 2 to 3 letters or practice 2 role plays daily. Okay, and coming towards the day 6, it's about the light review and the vocabulary practice time. So you need to revise the healthcare specific vocabulary and even some grammar rules. So practice quick listening and even reading task. And coming towards the last day, it's a time for this confidence building. So your activity should be like relax and lightly review the tips for each subtext and avoid this heavy studying on this last day. Okay, so this daily vocabulary, spend 15 minutes reviewing the healthcare terms or use some apps in correlation with studying some vocabulary, and take proper feedback. Submit your writing or speaking samples weekly to some online platforms for this correction services, and take proper rest. Okay, proper sleep, the diet, and the break time. It's always needed to stay focused. So that's about the things you need to take care about, and this is the plan I just want to give to you. If you are planning to give your exams on this 8th Feb 2025, so all the very best. I hope this video will help you out to how to prepare or what to expect in your real exam. So all the very best for your OET examination. Utilize your time properly, so follow the proper manner of practice. Good luck and God bless you all. So for more assistance and OET related videos, you can just watch on this page and do subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon nearby to get notification. Soon after the exam, we will update the reviews available from a global level. That means it's not about any particular country we are updating for. We will discuss all the available question papers. So it will help you out in your OET journey. So thank you so much for your time over here, and God bless you all.